All right, 7-Eleven now. Because of identity theft, it's more important than ever to keep a close eye on your credit card and bank statements, but that is not enough alone. Here with some vital ways to protect yourself, Howard Schwartz from the Better Business Bureau. Welcome back. Great to see you again.
Thank you.
Where's our greatest vulnerability these days?
Greatest vulnerability is the websites we go to. If we're not careful, we should always be checking those out. But recently there was a credit card breach, a data breach at a company that processes credit cards. Customers were understandably worried, at the very least irritated as well. And what we should be doing is, on an ongoing basis, especially if we're spending a lot of time online buying things, we should be watching our credit card statements like hawks to be looking for rogue charges.
Okay. Now, by the way, when you're talking about internet, because people get nervous about internet shopping, is there anything that tips us off to what is safe and what isn't when we're actually on a page?
Well, one of the things we should be looking for is HTTPS. The S stands for secure. There's usually a graphic of a little padlock. That's not foolproof. One of the things we can do is to watch where we click. Now, you might get an offer on a social medium which says, click here and you get a great deal or a coupon. You're never sure where that's going to take you. And similarly, there are lookalike websites or people who can spoof an email and put an official-looking logo up and that sort of thing. Be careful. If you're going to go to a website, go there directly yourself.
All right. We have some credit card protecting tips to put on the screen here for our viewers. Can we talk about some of these? Yeah,
keep a regular watch on your statements. You should also be watching your credit report, and the only government-sanctioned place to do that, absolutely free, is annualcreditreport.com. Consider canceling inactive accounts. Your credit report will tell you about that because every open account, first of all, can affect your credit score, but it's also an opportunity for someone to hack into it or breach it. If you're traveling, inform your credit card company, let them know where you're going and for how long, because what we found is when there's a local breach, people end up with charges that come from elsewhere in the country or even out of the country. And if you use your debit card, use it for cash and carry items like groceries and gasoline. And one of the reasons especially we should be doing that online, and particularly if you're using classified ads as a way of buying things, is because if you give somebody your debit card number and they're not a person you can trust, they can just empty out your account entirely. So with a credit card, at least you've got limited liability, and if there's a problem, you can dispute the charges, and it doesn't have to come out of your pocket right away.
Is there any way to characterize or even quantify just how fast this problem of credit card fraud and identity theft is growing?
It's growing significantly, and the FBI is certainly onto this. In terms of quantifying it, it's difficult because some people will go directly to the financial institution, directly to the bank. There are statistics on this. What we can say is that because there's more exposure of our credit card numbers, there are more opportunities for problems. And the credit card companies are responding, as they have in Europe, by putting secure chips in credit cards to make it a little more difficult for people to have those numbers stolen.
Take a step ahead. Okay, finally, what if I find out that somebody has my stuff? What do I do then?
Very first thing is call your financial institution, and typically what they'll do is they'll cancel the card, lock down that account, send you a new one, and they may typically offer you a credit monitoring service for a limited amount of time. If you know that somebody's been messing with your credit or you're the victim of ID theft, get in charge with the credit monitoring bureaus and let them know as well. And what they can do is not only put monitoring on your activity as well, but they'll also lock down your personal information so that nobody can open up an account in your name.
You still could be on the hook for some of those charges maybe that have happened right away. Is that true?
Well, if it's fraud and they're aware of it and you tell them right away your liability may be $50, there may be no liability whatsoever. But you've got to provide some sort of proof that you haven't been in Texas and that's where the charges are coming from. But if you address it right away, the credit card companies are good about that.
Time is of the essence, though, it sounds like.
Always.
Howard Schwartz, Better Business Bureau, rocking the house with helping us keep our financial houses a little bit more secure. Maybe a lot more. Thank you very much. All right, for more information, you can go to WTNH.com, click on the Good Morning Connecticut weekend part, and plenty more information.